Hi guys, today's lesson is about product of powers, and I just want to make sure you remember that the number on the top is the exponent and at the bottom the number itself is known as the base. So today we're going to go over rule number 5. What happens when a power is raised to another power? So if it's 2 cubed squared, it really means, it means 2 cubed times 2 cubed, which turns out to be 2 to the sixth power. Therefore, we can say that a to the m raised to the nth power is a to the mn power. So we're going to try some got it number 1 from your textbook. Give it a try before you actually see how it's done. If it's p to the fifth raised to the fourth power, just multiply the powers and it's p to the 20th. And here the same thing happens, which is also p to the 20th. In other words, they are the same. When the exponents are fractions, the same rule applies. You simply multiply half times 1/4, which is 1 over 8, or 1/4 times half, which is also 1 over 8. So here's a rule you might think about, that if it's a m to the nth power, it is the same as a to the n raised to the mth power. The next rule is rule number 6. What happens if we have a product? In this case, 5 times x raised to the third power. This means 5x times 5x times 5x, which turns out to be 5 to the third times x to the third. In some ways, the x gets distributed. So you get 125 times x to the third power. So the rule is, if you have a product a, b, and you raise it to the m power, both of the parts of the product get that power. So it becomes a to the m times b to the m. And so let's take a look at these got its. Here we have 7m to the ninth power, and the whole thing is raised to the third power. Notice that this third power belongs to everything that is inside the parentheses. So we could say 7 to the third times m to the ninth to the third, which becomes 343 times m to the 27th power. Here we have 2 to the negative fourth and z to the negative fourth. And you cannot leave your exponents as negatives, so they both go into the denominator. And you can simplify it if it's an easy number. So this turns out to be 1 over 16 z to the fourth. Here again, both parts get the negative second power, and it becomes 1 over 3 squared times g to the negative eighth, which also ends up in the denominator. You may want to pause the video and try these. Notice that when there is no exponent, the exponent is 1. So this is y to the sixth. When there is no exponent, the exponent is 1. So it's x to the seventh. And this one, we're going to use a combination of some rules. Remember, coefficient times coefficient and variable times variable. So negative 6 times j to the third times k to the 10th. Here's some more difficult ones. Remember, coefficient times coefficient, variable times variable. Try it out before you check the answers. Pause the video. Here is the work. If you're confused, you may want to do the work slowly so that you get to the right answer. Remember, we never write the coefficient of 1 because 1 is invisible. And then here's a challenge one for you. Give it a try. Everything in the first parentheses gets raised to the third power, and everything in the parentheses, the second parentheses gets raised to the fourth power, and then you have to multiply them together. So the first parentheses becomes these numbers, the second parentheses become these numbers, and now you're going to do coefficient times coefficient and variable times variable. And that is it. I'll see you in class. Goodbye.